I'm Judy Shaw for NYSE Floor Talk, and I'm here at NYSE Pacific. Joining me today is Trevor Rodrigues Templar. He is the CEO, president, and co-founder at Aviso. Trevor, it is wonderful to see you again. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk.
Yeah, it's great to see you again, Judy, on the left coast, as they say.
Yes, exactly. I'm visiting you on this side of the coast.
There you go.
So wonderful to have you. So now, Trevor, generative AI has inspired many business leaders to recognize this as the next big thing. We're about 1 year into this new wave. What advice can you share for the next generation of salespeople looking to be great?
So in this economic environment, what we're seeing out there is it's no longer enough just to be good. And when we say great, going back in time or back to the future, about 15 years ago, I was at Oracle, and I'd done 1,400% of my quota, which is material. And at that time, I was a square peg in a round hole. And I say that because I came from McKinsey, from consulting, and I was selling software. And the way I differentiated myself was just working harder than the person to the left or the person to the right. I read all the 10Ks, I listened to earnings calls, I networked, I did enormous amounts of research, and really approached in a programmatic fashion. I'm autistic, so God's blessed me with quite a good memory, so and a corpus that's materially larger than most people. Obviously, there's other parts of me that are less than others, of course, right? So when I look at salespeople today, though, with generative AI and with the tools we're providing, like Mickey, which is a machine-integrated knowledge and user interface, we take all that suck work out of it. And what I mean by that is we're seeing people freeing up 10, 15, 20 hours a week because we do your earnings research for you. We listen to earnings calls. We get snippets from those earnings calls which are relevant to your products, which are relevant to your business. We update Salesforce for you. We even transcribe your calls with your customer, give you sentiment analysis, give you insights on what you need to do. We call it AI-based next best actions, which really guide you from an AI perspective to dealing with customer objections, dealing with negotiations, and at the end of the day, essentially getting dollars in your pocket in a rapid fashion, which at the end of the day, if you're a coin-operated sales rep, that's tantamount to what you do. So.
Okay, so you mentioned your AI Chief of Staff, Mickey, and we talked about that last time you were on NYSE Floor Talk back in May. So tell me, what results are your customers seeing with it?
So I call it escape velocity, right? And escape velocity, in the traditional terms, we're talking about rockets, is radial outward acceleration is equal to inward acceleration, from Earth's velocity, right? And I say escape velocity because we're seeing this tremendous adoption of Mickey. And I think part of it is because it's solving this problem that's existed for a while, which is the value exchange between the employee and the employer. CRM and most of our competitors' tools till today have focused so much on the CRO and the executive suite and more on inspection of what's wrong versus guiding people to do what's right. And I think what Mickey does for you is, it takes these best practices that exist in the enterprise, it takes these revenue playbooks, it takes what you can learn from your managers, and instead of turning it into an inspection, what it does is it helps guide you to do the right thing at the right time, the right place. So we're seeing customers, top line impact at Honeywell, 150 million. I've got Carson at RingCentral talking about the fact that he and his team only log into Aviso, so much so that they hadn't logged into Salesforce for like 3 or 4 months, and their Salesforce licenses are going to be harvested by the CIO because he's like, you're not using this anymore. So it's that kind of reaction we're getting, and we're hoping to see our customers exponentially implement more and more features leveraging Mickey, and at the end of the day, improve their top line and their bottom line, right? So.
Okay. So now, more with less has been a big theme this year.
Sure.
Tell me, why are sales teams consolidating their sales tech stack from multiple single-use case apps to a more integrated platform?
So, if you talk to CROs, right, and I talk to them almost every day, and the consensus among CROs and CEOs today is they're just not happy with what they have. And there's a couple of reasons. One, of course, is what we call sales stack bloat. You've just got so many point tools. So this whole swivel chair approach with each point app focusing on one part of the business. It's like the 10 blind men and the elephant, and no one looking at the big picture of how am I going to really augment the business? How am I going to really augment the human being? How am I going to really help the rep? How am I really going to help add value? And when you've bought all these tools, because all of them make the same promise of delivering exciting results, but they're not tied to any metric or KPI that's material, you just tend to disappoint the CROs. The average CRO today has a timeline of around 19 months, for his job. So it's important that he hits the whole road running. And what our CROs are doing, and they're getting promoted, if you talk to Brian Gumbel, he moved from CRO to president. You talk to Carson, he's done tremendously well at Ring Central. I can go on and on with Harry Alt at Data Stacks, et cetera. And the common theme among them is, Aviso has taken away that sales bloat. It's consolidated these systems. It's provided us with a single pane of glass across all our data, provided an end-to-end process. And at the end of the day, it's impacting our top line while improving AE productivity. So when you bring all that together in a seamless fashion, and people are excited about using your tool, you just differentiate yourself, right? So.
Okay. So now Dreamforce is taking place right now here on the West Coast. Tell me, Trevor, one thing that excites you about the impact of AI on customer experience?
So, what's interesting is what AI has done is it's made the customer experience more transparent in their ability to give you feedback, in your ability to truly understand the subtext of what's not being said. And the reason I say this is when you look at AI, you're looking at machine learning, you're looking at NLP, you're looking at generative AI. And for a large part, when you talk about ChatGPT, people believe that ChatGPT cures all your ills. And forgive me, Salesforce and a lot of the larger players, as well as the smaller players like Gong, Clary, et cetera, all talk about ChatGPT as being the be-all and end-all. And we take a bigger picture of it, right? From our perspective, when you look at generative AI is kind of about helping you autocomplete or complete a sentence. It goes through millions of pages of text, and helps you really find that next question or that next answer. What it doesn't do for you is it doesn't analyze that information, provide you with signals, provide you with intelligence. You have to have computational algorithms that computers can understand that are going to deliver these types of insights and results. But what has happened and what ChatGPT has shown us is that human language and the human corpus is limited, and ChatGPT enables you to extend that forward. And that's tremendous because now you actually have human beings being able to talk to AI and computers, which never happened before. And with that, there's an exponential increase in productivity. It's caused all this excitement at Dreamforce. It's one of the, it's being billed as the conference of AI, not really Dreamforce, which is amazing because I've been coming here for 15 years now, but it's the conference of AI. And everyone around us is looking at new ways in which to leverage. AI is a broad brushstroke, but really generative AI, machine learning, NLP, in new ways that they can impact their customers.
Okay, now let's switch gears. I know that you are co-founder of the company, co-founder of Aviso. So tell me, what sparked you to found the company?
So, I spent a lot of years at Salesforce optimizing business models for Mark. I spent time at Oracle for Larry. And, I'd done reasonably well. Like my first year, I did 400% of my number, which is reasonable. But $3.5 million commission check, which when you're 29 years old is unusual, right? Through the years, for about 10 years, my teams, produced exciting results, clearly some of the largest deals at Salesforce and Oracle. But I still felt unfulfilled. And when I had the opportunity to join, KV Rao, at Aviso, and I saw Aviso as being this diamond in the rough. KV had built this incredible architecture based on his background on Wall Street and actually being a rocket scientist, believe it or not. And what I saw was an opportunity to take this architecture and take this technology. And remember, this is about 4 or 5 years ago where AI was a black box and people looked at it as this arcane, art, and they couldn't understand it and they really didn't believe it, right? Now, of course, AI is front and center, so it seems like a prescient about what we've built. But but what that did for me was the ability to take that corpus of what I'd learned over the last 20 years and translate that into a tool that I knew would resonate and kind of solve all the ills and sins of the past, where we use tools to basically inspect the AE versus really helping him and adding value. And I'm culpable for that as well because, as part of my job of, closing billions of dollars, my job was to inspect large teams and make sure they were delivering, right? But now I have the opportunity to really delight them, excite them, add value, and provide a tool set that's actually going to make a material impact in both their careers as well as their lives. They get more time to spend with their families. They can focus on being better versions of themselves and, kind of liberating that inner Einstein or that inner Elon Musk, if you want to call it. And, I just think, it's an opportunity and an inflection point in our lives where building Aviso, with KV and taking it to the next level as the CEO, has enabled me to make an impact in society. And I hope, for years to come, we'll see the results of what we built, right? So.
All right. Well, Trevor, it's always wonderful to talk with you. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk today.
Pleasure as always.